Bring your hands underneath your navel and allow your belly to be soft and relaxed. Just notice the breath as it flows in and out without changing anything. And then bring your awareness to your pelvic floor muscles and gently contract and lift them as you exhale. Just notice what happens underneath your hands as you do that. And then take your hands to your lower back. Sense the warmth and the touch of your hands on your back. Then lengthen through the spine as you open the chest and take your head back as far as it feels comfortable for your neck. And as you come down, bring your chin to your chest and glide your hands down the back of your legs, feeling the muscles behind your leg, the muscles of your calf from behind. And then bring your hands onto your feet, and as you come up, glide up the front of the leg, the shins, the knees, the thighs. Take your hands back to the lower back and continue that same movement. And ripple forwards with the back. Hands glide down the back and gliding up, sensing what's happening in the front of the legs, in the hips, in the buttocks, in the thighs. Bring movement into your spine. You're going to stay down there, relax your head. Hold on to each elbow with the opposite hand and gently sway your body to the left and to the right. Drop your arms down and slowly roll back up to center. Open your arms, reach your fingertips way back. And then as you exhale, round the back, bring your navel to the spine. Your spine's in a C curve. And as you inhale, opening the chest, reach all the way back to the tips of your fingers. And exhaling, rounding the spine. Shoulders down away from your ears. And again, inhale, opening the chest, taking your fingers on a diagonal back and up. And exhaling all the air out, rounding through your back. This time clasp your hands behind your back again, opening your chest, opening your shoulders. Your head forwards and allow gravity to affect the weight of your arms. Just hang there for a moment, allowing it to happen. Release your arms, again grabbing onto opposite elbows and again swaying, maybe a little bit bigger this time, from right to left. And slowly coming up, vertebra after vertebra. We're going to initiate the movement from the hips and just allow the arms to react to what's going on in the center. Taking one hand towards your opposite shoulder, the other hand towards your lower back. And bringing your feet together until they're parallel and hip width apart. Transfer the weight onto your left leg and lift the right leg up, finding the balance, bringing the toes and then the heel back, and then the other side. Finding the balance, lengthening both sides of your body, toes and heel. So again, finding your balance. This time flex and bring your heel forwards. And transfer the weight onto the balls and to the toes. The opposite heel comes up and just rock the weight forwards and backwards. Forwards and backwards. Bring your weight onto your front leg, again opening your fingertips on a high diagonal, opening your chest and rounding the spine. Most of the weight on your front leg. Opening, reaching, finding the balance on the front leg and rounding the spine, taking your navel back. One more time, open the chest. Rounding the spine. And we'll transfer onto the other leg. So heel, ball, toe, the back heel comes up. It's like you're massaging your feet into the floor, bringing awareness to the soles of your feet and how they meet the floor. Finding the balance on the front leg. Reaching up, opening your chest, lengthening through the whole body and curving through the body. Exhale all the stale air out and allow fresh air to rush into your body, into the lungs, into every cell of your body. Exhale, round. Inhale, open, lengthen all the way to the tips of your fingers. And exhaling, bringing your tailbone forwards and finding the balance, bringing the weight back onto both feet. Drop your chin to your chest and roll down until your fingers touch the floor. Hands onto the floor and take yourself up so you're in a pyramid shape. And play with bending one knee and then the other knee, playing with the hips. Then we'll bring the weight forward to a plank, press your hands into the floor, and then bring your weight back to the pyramid, rocking forwards, lengthening through the top of your head, and back, reaching your heels back to the floor. Again, noticing how the weight transfers forwards and back. Reach your sits bones up and your heels down. And then walk your feet towards your hand. Again, feeling how the feet connect to the floor. Bend your knees. And we're going to come to a sitting position. Bring your hands to your knees to lengthen your spine and then roll the hips. And reach your fingertips forwards. And come up to a long spine. And then rolling back, sense which vertebra touches the floor now. And back up to a long spine. And again, each time another vertebra in contact with the mat. And each time coming up and lengthening through the fingertips. And keep rolling backwards and forwards. And then coming to lie, bring your heels underneath your knees. Take a moment to sense what's in connection with the floor, what part of the feet, what part of the arms, head, hips, ribs. And each exhale, just gently press everything that's in contact with the floor a little bit further down, like you're imprinting your body into the floor. And bring your awareness to your lower back, and as you exhale, imprint your lower back into the floor. And from here, just curl the hips up and keep going one vertebra after another till you've reached into between your shoulder blades. Press everything into the floor and slowly rolling back down one vertebra after another, back to a neutral position. Again, exhaling, imprinting, curling your hips and peeling one vertebra at a time. And when you get there, press your hands and your feet and your shoulders into the floor before you come down, feeling each vertebra in contact with the floor on the way down, on your way back to neutral. So one more time, rolling up. This time press your feet into the floor as you float your arms up and imprint the back of your hands into the floor. And one more time, slowly sensing the connection of each vertebra into the mat. Hands behind your head to lengthen your neck. Inhale, and then you exhale, come up to a chest lift. And again, sense which vertebra is in contact with the mat and try and press it into the floor as your head floats up. Lengthen as you inhale to come back, and again, come up to a chest lift, softening in the chest. And from here, just rolling the hips up and bringing them back down. Up and relax back down. From here, you're going to keep lifting the hips, and as the hips float up, bring the head and shoulders down in a seesaw movement. Head and shoulders come up and hips down to the floor. And again, sensing at each point which vertebra touch the floor. Massaging through the back to neutral. One more time, lifting up and coming back down. Bring your right knee towards your body and resist with both hands. And then change. Left knee wants to come towards the body, but the hands push it away. Bring your head and shoulders up and reach the left leg long. And then change for a variation of single leg stretch. Each time the knee comes in, the hands resist and press. Hands behind your head for a crisscross. Your right knee in towards your chest. Hug it in and stretch your left leg out long. Using your left hand to stabilize the left side of the hip. And your right hand to help the knee describe some circles. You're oiling the joints. Stretch the right leg, lift your head and shoulders up. Point both feet, lengthen both legs away from each other. And the head and arms drop to the floor, imprint the back of your hands and your lower back into the floor and leg circles. Circling in the other direction. Behind your knee, lift your head up and roll up to a sitting position. Lengthen the right leg, opening your chest. And then stretch over, hold on to your legs. And slowly rolling down, one vertebra at a time. Bringing the left knee in, hugging it in, stretching the right leg out. And using the right hand to stabilize on the right side of the hip, circling the leg in the hip socket. In the other direction. And stretching the left leg up, pointing both feet, lifting the head and shoulders up as both legs reach in opposite directions. Bringing the head and the hands into the floor, imprint the lower back and circles. And in the other direction. Holding behind the leg to come up, rolling up, reaching the left leg up, lengthening through the spine, opening the chest and coming forwards. Inhaling to lengthen through the spine and exhaling to roll down one vertebra after another. Inhaling, stretching the arms and the legs out long. Exhaling, rolling up and stretching over. So inhale, lengthen on a long diagonal forwards. Exhale, rounding, feeling each vertebra dropping into the mat. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, rolling up. Stretch over. Lengthening on the inhale and rolling back on the exhale. Stretching from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the toes on the inhale. Exhaling to come up. Bringing yourself into a ball to roll back and forward, stretching your legs up. The hands on the front of the shins and taking them back in the calves and rounding, rolling back and forward, reaching up. Reach up for a teaser and slowly rolling back down. Hands behind your head. Lift your head and shoulders up. Stretch your legs up. I'm going to take lower and lift. Lengthening your toes away. Lifting your hips up. And becoming aware of which part of your sacrum, which part of your lower back is in touch with the floor. Bring your head down, bring your arms to a low V. The corkscrew variation. Both legs circling around. And to the other side. Open your arms, bend your knees and let both knees drop to the right. Take your heads towards the left and come back to your breath, to just observing the breath flowing in and out. And take the legs to the other side, noticing the breath entering and exiting the body. Let's come to lying on our side. Stretching the top leg out. And bring your hand to the iliac crest of the hip. And using that to reach the heel away and bring it back. Notice what happens in the hips and the waist. Keep both sides of the waist long. Bring the heel forward as you send the sits bones back. And then reach the leg back as you keep your pelvis neutral. Heel reaches forward, think of your sits bones wanting to go back. And then open the front of the thigh by taking the leg as far back as possible. Bend your knee. Stretch the front of your thigh, hold onto your ankle. You can come and sit in a mermaid and stretch to the right. Opening both arms, lengthening both sides of the body. So there's a sort of a bridge underneath the left side of your waist. Opening and stretching from side to side. Come to the side kick, either with your elbow on the floor if you feel that's comfortable for you. If not, place a whole former. As you do this, keep lengthening and lifting the left side of your body, opening the chest as if someone's pulling your right elbow up. There shouldn't be too much weight on the left elbow, it shouldn't hurt. Bend the back leg and glide the right hand towards so the elbows want to touch each other. Twisting through the body. Bringing your right leg over your left knee, lengthening up, and then taking a twist. Lengthening through the spine, opening your right shoulder back. And before we do the other side, I'm going to come onto all fours. Bring your right forearm and then left forearm, and then press back up with the right hand and the left hand. Left, right, and then right hand and left hand. If you want to make it a bit more challenging, take the legs further back and again transfer the weight from the forearms to the hands. Forearm to the hands. Even more challenging, we do it in a push-up position. Again, feeling how the weight moves from one part of the body to the other. And you press into the floor to reach up. Bending the elbows to lie on the stomach. Hands underneath your forehead. Going to flex the right foot. Then stretch, point and lift the leg up. Flex, reach the heel away to lengthen and then point. Keep lengthening as far as you can while still keeping the hips neutral. Lengthening, opening the front of the thigh. Become aware of what part of the hips are in touch with the floor at each part of the exercise. And press your hands into the floor, open your chest to extend the spine. Same thing with the elbows parallel and close to the ribs. Lift your legs. Lift your hands just a little bit off the floor and then bring everything back down. So reaching, everything lifts up. Reach the elbows back as you lift your fingers off the floor. And coming back down. Again, everything lengthens and reaches up. Next, I'm going to press your hands into the floor and press into the floor to open the chest. Come up just as far as feels good for your back. And coming back down to a mini swan. Opening, making sure that the extension is right for your back as it feels right now. Hands press down, lengthening the spine and open the chest. You can straighten the arms as much or as little as you want. We're going to come to lying on the other side. Take the hand towards the crest of the hip. And the hips are like a handle. Reaching the heel away and bringing it back. Notice what's happening in the hips and how that affects the waist. And keeping both sides of the waist long. Flex the foot to come forward. And then point, lengthen the leg back, opening the front of the thigh. Flex, bringing the heel forward as you send your sits bones back. So lengthen your leg back, keep your hips and your waist long. Bend your knee, hold on to your ankle to stretch the front of the thigh. Take that into a mermaid. So you're going to stretch, opening the left side of the body. Opening. Hover for a moment before stretching to the other side. Each time you're lengthening both sides of the waist, take a moment here to stretch and lengthen. So if you have enough strength in the left side of the waist, we can put both hands behind your head, otherwise keep the arm down for a side kick. So as if the right elbow wants to reach up, and getting lots of support from the muscles on the left side of the body. and twisting. And then bringing the top leg round, lengthening the spine up before we rotate around. Shoulders and head to the left. Coming to your knees and your forearms, and arching and curling the spine. The forearms pressing down as the navel lifts up. And feel the shoulders drawing down away from your ears as your collarbones expand. And taking both legs into a forearm plank, letting both heels drop to the right and to the left, to the right and to the left. Coming back to center and back down to lying on the floor. Hold on to your left ankle with your left hand. Press your right hand into the floor and then reach your ankle away to open up left side of your body. And then bring your heel towards your hips to stretch the front of the thigh. And again, use your right hand to help you press down as the left leg reaches away. Let's change arms and legs. So bringing the right heel towards your hips and then taking it away, and that's what helps you open right shoulder. And again, reach it away, opening shoulder, and then bringing it back, stretching the front of the thigh. If it's okay for your back, we'll do it with both legs. So really work with your legs to open your chest. If you feel any pain in your lower back, then go back to the first variation. And again, there's a lot of work with taking your legs back in order to open the chest and the shoulders. And we'll go back to a child's pose, to a rest position. Drop your head into the mat and then roll forwards and backwards. So massaging your head. Half the crab, we'll do the other half in a little while. Coming to a kneeling position, and from here stretch your left leg out, lengthen both sides of the body, right hand into the floor and stretch left side body, and then coming up and stretching to the other side. If that's challenging enough, keep doing the same thing. If you want a bit more challenge, take the bottom leg back, keep pressing into the floor to lift up even more. And then allow your hips to drop down. This time we're going to circle the arm until we're in a push-up position. And from here taking the hips high, reaching the right leg up, bringing the right leg behind the left, coming forwards to a plank, and bending your elbow like a push-up. So the right leg reaches up. So again, we're transferring the weight forwards and back, adding a push-up. Bringing the right leg forward into a lunge. Bring the arms up to the side and opening the chest, reaching the arms up as we did in the beginning. So we're going to keep the spine long diagonal from the foot to the hands. So inhale, open, lengthen. And as you exhale, reach forwards, lengthening your arms all the way down, bringing the top of your head towards the mat, lifting your sits bones up, and then coming to your knees. So to the other leg, reaching over to one side, lifting up and opening the other side. Bringing your hand down, take your back leg behind your front leg, keep reaching up and drop your hips to a side bend, coming up and over, lifting your hips up, and this time your left leg will go up and push up. Reach the left leg high, bring the weight forwards, elbows towards the ribcage, keep the chest open. And bring your left foot forwards, lunge, finding the balance, opening your chest, reaching your arms up, both legs lengthen, and then lunging, bending the front knee and stretching forwards on a long diagonal. And opening. Inhale. Exhale, lengthening. And then bring your head towards the mat. And jump yourself so you're sitting in a cross-legged position. We're going to do the other half of the crab, changing your feet, rocking back, and then again changing, grabbing hold onto your opposite toe to rock, back and forwards, finding the balance and change. Change. Lengthen your head forwards. And then reach out on a long diagonal, up and back, and then lengthening forwards. You're going to take a variation of neck pull. So rolling up, bringing your head towards your shins and then lengthening, opening back, coming forwards and rolling down the spine, one vertebra after another. Rolling up, lengthening, opening back, and rolling forwards. This time I'm going to take legs over our head, support the lower back with your hands, elbows parallel to one another, in a variation of control balance, reaching one leg up and the other leg forwards. And then changing legs. Reaching both legs long away from each other. So I'm going to keep lengthening the leg forward so that we're in a high scissors position. And to the other side, really stretching both legs away from each other. And opening the leg, just playing a little bit from side to side, finding what feels good here, and then rolling down the spine to come back to lying on our backs. Cross your right leg over your left, and let's take both legs over to the right, and coming back to the breath, just noticing it flowing in and out of the body. Noticing how the ribs on the left open, and then keeping the same position of the legs, we'll just let them drop over to the other side. And again, just coming back to the breath. Switching legs, so left over right, bringing both legs over to the left. Opening the right side of the rib cage with the breath. And to the other side. And then take a moment to release arms and legs into the floor. Notice how the body feels, how the floor supports the weight of your body. And again, coming back to the breath. And come to a sitting position. Find a comfortable cross-legged position. Bring your hands to your knees and observe how the breath flows in and out.